Welcome to That's Good Sports Podcast. I'm Brandon Perna, joined by Will Keys. Hi, Will.
What's up, Brandon? Who are you rooting for in Game 2 of the World Series on Fox?
Game 2 of the World Series. I am rooting for the Dodgers. I think Boston sports fans are they're spoiled. You don't even I think every sports fan base sucks. Like once you get into it, they're all shitty.
Correct.
I don't think Boston's so much. I don't think they're worse than others. All I'm saying is they have been spoiled, freaking rotten, and I am sick of seeing them win.
You'll get no argument from me. I completely agree. This is up there for me with Seahawks Patriots back in 2014. That was the original Alien versus Predator championship where whoever wins, we all lose. So
yeah,
I guess I'm rooting for the Dodgers, but it's really just rooting against the Red Sox.
It'll be interesting because by the time this podcast uploads, Game 2 will be over. So
yes,
this will be,
and it will be 1-1.
Bold call. Well, today
I'm gonna look really stupid.
Today, Will and I are going to talk about football. This is mostly a football podcast. Probably the first half will be the Broncos. Second half will be NFL stuff. A lot to digest with Broncos news and a bunch of crazy NFL trades. And will finish off his hate list. So the last episode, he gave us the first 5 of 10 people he hates, basically, in the NFL. And just to be clear, when Will came up with the idea, I said, yeah, we could do teams or, players or things we hate. And Will just went straight players he hates. It's really true. Singled people out, wanted to point a finger at one person.
No, I just want to make it clear. I hate far more than 10 players. I hate hundreds of players, but I narrowed it down for you listeners to just 10, which was quite the ordeal, but 100 would take too long, I think, some would say.
Some would say it would take way too long.
That's for another podcast.
We could probably – how long do baseball games last? 1 to 5 hours?
Depends. It could be, I think the average one's like 3 hours and 15 minutes or so.
So like a football game, basically?
Essentially, yeah. But you never know. It could go 18 innings tonight, and we could be watching the game into tomorrow, essentially.
Interesting. I don't like –
It's happened.
Yeah.
We're not getting a tie in the World Series like in the NFL.
Yeah, lots of ties happening this season. Could see another one this week. The Browns, four games going to overtime. Is that
I was rooting so hard for Chandler Catanzaro, the Buccaneers kicker, to miss that 59-yarder. And God damn it, he just snuck it right through the uprights. And I wanted to see another tie so badly. Hello, Brandon's wife.
I know. I think everybody was rooting for him to miss a 59-yard kick. I don't even think we thought he could make a 59-yard kick.
No, I thought there was no chance, and he proved us all wrong.
Cat, do not poke my exercise ball that I sit on for my bad back.
We had previously we had your wife, your cat, you, me, my dog was previously on this podcast before we hit record. Got a full house today.
We got a full house. We got wives. We got animals. We've got and your
cats,
dogs.
Yep.
I get it because we're the animals, but I fucked up the joke.
I get it.
Dude, here's a real question I have for you, and okay. I don't know if you saw it in the episode of our recap of all the football games from the week. But are you getting annoyed of all of the sports media outlets just copying each other's memes?
Oh, of course. No, I've been annoyed at that for years now. No, yeah, that's been going on for a long time. It's as soon as you saw, I saw the Baker Mayfield thing live, right when Catanzaro hit that field goal, and they cut to his reaction right away, and I was like, that's going to be a GIF in 15 seconds. And sure enough, it was everywhere, probably including That's Good Sports. But you actually did a good job. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my meme's in the video. I never like made it an official meme. You know what I mean?
Oh, what constitutes a meme, really?
But I think NFL memes just ripped off Barstool's meme. They didn't even try to come up with their own. They just
NFL memes, I think, might be the weakest memes of the four major sports. Although I've never looked at NHL memes, I don't know if they know. I don't know if they know what the internet is in most NHL cities and parts of Canada. But I would rank it NBA memes are top, MLB memes, and then NFL memes are a distant third.
Third place. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like, you know, it used to be like NFL memes and then people reposting it. But I feel like over the last year and a half or 2 years, the like ESPN and Yahoo Sports and Bleacher Report, they're like trying to compete with assholes like me just posting shit like that. So they're posting all of them now too as quickly as possible.
Oh, yeah, but when you get, like, the great thing about that is, like, the Twitter will always call them out on that, and you'll get, like, a million how do you do, fellow kids pictures below, like this Steve Buscemi with holding the skateboard with the backwards hat and the music band T-shirt on. So the great thing about Twitter is, like, they'll always call them out on their bullshit, which is quite often.
Yeah. No, I mean, when I saw that Mayfield thing happen live, I don't think I thought about it being a meme. I just made a note, like, Mayfield's face when the kicker makes it.
Yeah, and see, my brain is so fucked up now that I think in memes primarily. So when I see stuff like that, all I can think about is, like, how long it's going to take to be on the internet, which now it's like, I joked about
instantly
15 seconds, but it's probably about a minute.
No, people are like, they're just pulling that shit.
Oh, they're wizards. I have no idea how they do it, but they find a way.
They are there to meme and meme only. But I was like, I can't even make a joke about Baker Mayfield because all of this other crap's already been said, and none of it's really that funny. And if I know me, I'm not going to come up with something funnier. So I just came up with the worst meme I could think of for him.
Oh, you did your best, and that's what counts, right? It's about effort.
It's just my pet peeve of the week, I guess. Now, we've got a lot of Broncos stuff to talk about.
Sure do.
We'll just start with Chad Kelly. Everything in Broncos country right now is Chad Kelly related.
Yeah. So, yeah, he was released this morning, after early yesterday, being arrested for criminal trespassing. He was at Von Miller's annual costume party, which was cowboy-themed, not cocaine-themed like some people made it out to be. But late into Tuesday morning, Chad Kelly found his way into somebody's house in Arapahoe County, entered the premises, sat down on the couch next to a woman and a small child, and began mumbling incoherently until the man of the house attacked him with a vacuum tube until he exited said house, and the authorities arrived, and he went into custody without incident. But it led John Elway and the rest of the Broncos brass to bid him farewell. So R.I.P. Chad Kelly's Broncos career, for now at least.
Yeah,
I don't see him coming back.
So many things that I really wanted to discuss. First, a Western theme or cocaine theme. What if it was just a documentary party, Will?
No, there's a lot of Western documentaries. There's a lot of – I see what you're getting at. Cocaine Cowboys.
Cocaine Cowboys. I thought it would register with you. I thought it would register.
It took me a second, but no, yeah, I got it.
People don't know this about Will, but he is a big movie and TV buff. And
it's true.
We may be debuting his own podcast very shortly.
Yeah, no, I think we will be. We'll get into that.
Either tonight or tomorrow or the next day. We don't know yet.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow. But,
okay. Now,
get excited.
I think the real crime in this Chad Kelly thing is that the people's house that he entered, they did not recognize him.
Yeah,
Now,
I was thinking about that too.
Maybe it's because he was in a cowboy costume, but his face is a pretty dead. He has a very distinct.
Yeah,
face.
no. Well, he's got one eye right here. And the other eye is like right about here. And I don't know any other human being on the planet who's got a face like that. So I could spot Chad Kelly from a mile away. But
dude,
again, that's just me.
He would be such a good bad guy in a Western.
Yeah, he would.
Like with his face, like with he if he doesn't make it back into the NFL, he just needs to go into acting. And on his headshots, he just needs to take pictures with cowboy hats. And underneath it, instead of putting his name, Chad Kelly, he just needs to put bad guy. And I'm pretty sure he will get work.
He would be he'd be a great bad guy in a Western. He'd also be a great unnamed henchman in like a spy movie where he's got like a generic submachine gun and he misses every shot that he takes at the protagonist.
Right.
A tremendous henchman. Yeah. Be spraying bullets all over the place and not one of them would hit the target.
And getting in like one
Unlike his football career.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they don't recognize him. I mean, he is a backup quarterback, but he's like got to be one of the most famous backup QBs.
Yeah, no, he's up there with I don't know, like if Nathan Peterman got really fucked up and wandered into your house, would you recognize Nathan Peterman?
Yeah, but only because I've looked at a lot of pictures of Nathan Peterman for all the jokes we've made about him.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jokes about Nathan Peterman, but not a lot of people have like seen his face.
No, I wouldn't know
what he looks like.
No, a normal person
point him out on the street. Yeah,
I would. True, but he has a weird face too. His eyes are very close together, I think. But
yeah. Something about having some asymmetrical eyes just makes you suited to be a backup quarterback.
Not a starting quarterback.
Yeah, unfortunate.
I mean, I would have recognized him, and then I would have gotten video of Chad Kelly, and then I would have sold that video to TMZ or the Denver Broncos, depending on who was the highest bidder.
No, I think you got the right idea.
I would have gotten a really messed up, mumbling Chad Kelly saying, "Welcome to That's Good Sports."
You just start your Broncos recap that week with that, and you're like, wow, that guy's got a really good Chad Kelly mask.
Yeah. But he wouldn't have he wouldn't have been able to get into my house. That's the other question.
Everybody knows you live in a gated community with Brinks security and all types of guards wandering the perimeter. Guard. Yeah. So no one could break into Perna Manor.
Now, the other thing that's emerged from this is you don't listen to local media the way I am force-fed to.
Right.
But people have just been ripping this Halloween party, which has happened every year for multiple years. And former players kind of in the media defend it. But now it's like they tried to run with this storyline that, this is not a team that's focused because they did this Halloween party. And then people are like, why did Chad Kelly even leave the party? Why weren't his teammates looking out for him? It's their responsibility to not make sure he drinks and drives. And I guess he was getting belligerent at the party and aggressive. And security was escorting him out, and he broke away from security, ran away from them, and left. And that there was lots of measures for people to get home safely and all this stuff. So really, Chad Kelly has a problem consuming whatever the fuck it is he was consuming.
Yeah, right. Because it wasn't alcohol that was in his system.
No,
correct?
Well, that has been refuted as well because the police reports for alcohol in your system, their default is just no. So they hadn't put in the results or gotten the results.
Okay.
Which in my episode today, I said the police department should change the default to NA, not available, to avoid this confusion. because if you're just an outsider looking on it and you don't know how the police protocol is for their forms that they fill out, I guess that it can be a little misleading. So I hope he was drunk. I hope he was just really drunk.
I do too.
Because to me, that makes sense. To me, I went to college. I know how drunk people can get, and I have had friends who have tried to get into the wrong apartment when they are too drunk.
Well, yeah, no, okay. This happened to Ryan Russillo last summer from ESPN when he was like on vacation in Wyoming with his friends. He really fucked up, took all of his clothes off, and then wandered into some person's condo and went to sleep, and was promptly arrested for it, which was probably the right call. But ESPN didn't release him. So, but then again, he didn't have the history that Chad Kelly does. So,
yeah, well, and that's
oranges, some would say.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, well, I guess we'll see like what comes out of the toxology report or whatever, but it has been a weird couple days. And I think the thing that stuck with me is Broncos fans are pretty upset that he's gone. I think a lot of people believed that he was better than Case Keenum, and if the Broncos were out of contention, that we were going to get a look at Chad Kelly and that he honestly might have a future as a starting quarterback for the Broncos. I don't know if that's true or not, but I tend to lean on the side of I think he had just as good of a chance as Case Keenum does to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Even though Case Keenum's already a starter, like the talent I think was there, and that's what makes this whole thing kind of shitty.
Yeah, no, that was always kind of the narrative with Chad Kelly since the draft, is he was like a first, second, third round talent, and the character questions outweighed the talent, which is kind of hard to do for a quarterback, especially in a league that's so quarterback needy all the time. But it turned out 2 years in that the character issues and flaws happen to outweigh the talent. But yeah, I think there's no denying that he had the potential to be, if not a good starting quarterback, at least like a starting quarterback for some period of time, and we could have evaluated him. But it's just too bad. Like, we'll never get to know, which kind of bums me out. At least here, he might get a chance with somebody else, but I don't see it happening anytime soon.
No, I think he could have been like the kind of quarterback who would throw like 33 touchdowns and 20 picks every year.
No, yeah, I think you're exactly right.
But also, like, at the end of the game,
put something together. Yeah,
you weren't worried about like him having a chance to pull it off.
Yeah, no, that's. I'm just like I said. Like, I'm disappointed we'll never get to see the Chad Kelly story truly fleshed out in Denver, because I think it's what we all deserved. So
it really is.
It's gonna be Case for the foreseeable future.
It's Case for the rest of this season.
Yeah, unless we get some Kevin Hogan sightings. We'll see him on the sideline this week for sure. But unless Case some injury befalls him, God forbid, he's the guy.
Yeah, now you just fully expect the Broncos are going to be drafting a quarterback. The Broncos have to draft a quarterback. With Chad Kelly, you had the possibility of not drafting a quarterback high, depending on what happened this season. But now they definitely have to.
Yes. But I think we should get into our next segment, which is a carryover from, what was it, 2 weeks ago, where we debuted this.
Very controversial.
Very controversial.
Very divisive.
A lot of people loved it. A lot of people said it was the greatest thing they'd ever seen in a podcast they'd ever consumed in media in their entire time on Earth. Other people said it was the worst thing that we've ever done, that we should kill ourselves and burn the remains.
Which is hard to do when you're already dead.
Yeah, I would have to arrange that ahead of time. But
you need a friend to do it.
Yeah, a loved one, really.
Just show up to my house tomorrow, 11 a.m. with gasoline and a blowtorch.
Yeah, just don't ask questions. Just be there.
Surprise, I'm dead.
But yeah, I'm talking about worst take. It's the segment where we think of our worst takes and see who has the more convincing terrible take. So the question for worst take this week is, I'm going to pose this question to you. Should entering someone's house without permission even be a crime in the first place? Brandon, what do you think?
I'm starting?
Yeah, you're starting.
The answer to this question, Will, is a resounding no. It should not be a crime. First of all, we need to get back into a world where neighbors open their doors for each other. We need to live in a country where people welcome somebody obviously in distress into their home, and instead of calling the law enforcement on them, they offer them a glass of water, maybe a pillow to sleep on, maybe some Ambien to just knock them out. There's lots of options here. Also, Will, even if it is still technically a crime to go into somebody's house uninvited, how many parties would you have attended if you had to be invited to them, first of all? Second,
I'll tell you, Brandon, exactly 0.
Yeah. Second, let me throw a couple names out there for you, and let me see if you think this was a fireable offense for Chad Kelly. Let me just throw a few names out there for you, okay?
I'm listening.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
Jameis Winston.
Yes.
Adrian Peterson.
Are you just listing the best Walter Payton Man of the Year awards in the last few years?
That's what those 3 guys have in common. Damn it! Damn it! Well, looks like I am done with my debate.
Are you done? Are you going to let me finish? Even though I haven't started? Am I going to let you finish?
You're going to finish when I let you.
I don't know how that makes sense, but I'm going to go. All right.
That's what I instruct my dominatrix to say.
Here's the problem. Chad Kelly entered another person's house without permission, without invitation, and here's the real problem with that. He has not proven himself on the field yet. Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, that bad man Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, Tom Brady, Cam Newton, Ben Roethlisberger, Russell Wilson. They have proven themselves on the field. Chad Kelly has not done that. They have earned the right to enter another person's house without invitation, without knocking on the door, without ringing the doorbell. They can just walk in because they are elite quarterbacks, and they have proven their worth in the NFL in the fourth quarter in the NFL playoffs. But Chad Kelly has not. And until he does that, he is not allowed to enter another person's residence. And I applaud this man for beating him with a vacuum tube, and I applaud this man for calling the authorities. And until Chad Kelly proves that he can be an elite quarterback in this league, he's going to have to sleep at his own house.
So you're saying the talent does not outweigh the headache?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Talent to headache scale. I think I did a Colin Kaepernick episode about that before.
Yes.
Which
people have brought up Colin Kaepernick quite a bit in the last couple days.
Yeah. So let's just take an official stance here, Will, and we will say Colin Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, indeed.
Do what you want with that, folks.
Yes, say what you will.
Do what you want
as you will.
But
I've got one thing to say to you, sir.
That's good sports. We're saying.
Yeah. You know who used to be a quarterback in this league?
Kaepernick.
He played quarterback at the school I attended.
Old Saint Nick.
And they promptly took down all of the posters after he started kneeling. Colin Kaepernick.
Wow.
It's true. It's true.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow. Okay. So we both clearly won that debate.
Yep.
Kevin
Weigh
Hogan,
in the comments. Tell us who really won.
Kevin Hogan does have the potential to be a Hall of Famer now because he is the backup.
Andy Reid said some nice things about him too. So
yeah, that helps. Broncos are playing the Chiefs this weekend on the road. Has anybody said yet that the Chiefs are red hot, Will?
Has anybody mentioned the fact that Patrick Mahomes threw the ball with his left hand on Monday night a month ago against the Broncos? Has anybody – I have not heard that.
That's news to me, Will. Now, do you think the Broncos have a chance to beat the Chiefs on Sunday?
Probably not. But here's the thing. I think they've got a lot of momentum coming off of that 45-10 win against the Cardinals, which we haven't really gotten a chance to break down. And it's been about a week. But we should just – I mean, all we can really say is that just all cylinders were clicking against a really bad team, and it produced the 45-10 victory. And they've got the advantage of like the mini bye, which helps. I think that advantage is probably negated by having to play on the road in Arrowhead, which is obviously never an easy environment to play in.
No.
But that and
the amenities there are –
No, they're not very good. That stadium's very old. But they've also got the advantage of being the only team to have played Patrick Mahomes multiple times, let alone this is going to be their third time against Patrick Mahomes. I don't think any other team's played him twice.
The Broncos have played Patrick Mahomes more than anybody in the NFL.
Yeah, and you could argue that they've gotten better against him every time.
Yeah, sort of.
Despite losing both.
Exactly. The first time, though, all the starters on defense were done by, like, the first quarter, right?
Correct, yeah. Either physically or spiritually. Yeah,
the Broncos injury report came out. There's a handful of guys on there, like Darian Stewart.
Yeah.
They do get Adam Jones back.
Thank God. Adam Jones, you'll be happy to learn, commented on Kendrick Perkins' Instagram post – or no, Steven Jackson's Instagram post about that fight between Chris Paul and Rajon Rondo between the Rockets and the Lakers, because if there's anything we need Adam Jones doing, it's getting into NBA fights in addition to NFL fights.
I would pay to see that.
Yeah. No, I think he said like if that was me, like they would have had to find me outside or something like that. Cash me outside.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Royce Freeman also did not practice.
Right.
He's got that ankle injury. They said it was a high ankle sprain. If that's true, he could probably miss quite a bit of time.
Yeah, let's hope not.
So that leaves us with Philip Lindsay and Devontae Booker as the running backs heading into this game. Shane Ray not practicing, ankle wrist. Jared Valdir still not fucking practicing. And the new center, this is interesting. So they signed a center, right? Nico Falha? Where did he come from?
I have no fucking idea.
Because he has a concussion already.
Yeah, well, you hate to see that.
So Royce Freeman being out, I think, is a big disadvantage for the Broncos offense.
Needs to get his head in the game.
Because I think it's been the same story all year, right? The Broncos have the potential to run well against the team. If you can keep Patrick Mahomes and that stupid offense off the field, then I think the Broncos have a chance. Can they slow down that offense again? I don't know, especially at home.
Question, though, is it going to be a trap game for the Chiefs? Because if I'm not mistaken, they have the Rams next week in Mexico City.
Ooh, maybe they're already thinking about how to party in Mexico, man.
That's my case for the Packers against the Rams this week.
You know what they say about Mexico City, man?
What happens there?
It's the Cancun of Mexico. Well, we're both right.
Yeah. It's also like 7,000 feet above sea level.
Yeah,
and that's pretty wild.
And that's this. I can't believe the Air Force Academy let Bill Belichick practice there all week last year before the Patriots went down to Mexico City to play the Raiders.
They should have drone striked him.
Yeah, they should have let them practice there, and then
all of the Patriots. it's okay for Chad Kelly to walk into it's not okay for Chad Kelly to walk into somebody's house, but it's perfectly fine for Bill Belichick to enter a military base and practice with the Patriots for a week. Talk about hypocrisy.
Yeah, big hypocrisy.
Don't like that.
So, I mean, I don't know. I got to break down this game. I haven't gotten into it yet because it is Wednesday night. That's a Thursday, Friday activity. But here's the thing I think we'll find out is because the Broncos pass rush the last 2 weeks has been a lot better, right?
Correct. Against one of the worst O-lines.
Exactly. So the last time the Broncos played the Chiefs, I think they could have won that game had their pass rush been a little better and had they been able to actually bring Patrick Mahomes down.
Yeah.
I want to see if they have a better defensive scheme to bring Mahomes down. Like the secondary, I think that was like the first game that they did a pretty good job. But they could not get to Mahomes. So that is the one area that you look at and you should go, the Broncos do have the talent there to do it. So if anything gives me hope, it's the defensive pass rush and hopefully being able to force Mahomes to make some mistakes. He's finally thrown some interceptions.
Yep.
So maybe he can do some more of that. I don't feel good about this game. And then the Broncos play the Texans after that, and the Texans' defense is playing very good football. So right now, I will say I predict the Broncos will not win. Without Chad Kelly, they don't have a chance.
Yeah, and that's the X factor. I have to agree with you there. I don't think they're going to get it done. When was the last time they won a 10 a.m. game or 11 a.m. for you guys game at Arrowhead Stadium? Probably decades. Probably I'm sure Craig Morton was the quarterback and it was back in 1978, but it feels like it's been forever. Certainly not in my lifetime. But yeah, it does feel like, and this is weird to say, but it feels like Patrick Mahomes has been a little more human the last couple weeks, which is a bizarre thing to say when he scored 40 points in New England and then 45 against the Bengals. But he started to turn the ball over a little bit, which we thought was going to be the case for him this year, and it just took 7 weeks for us to be correct.
Right. We're always about 7 weeks behind, give or take.
Yeah, it's like daylight savings time, except
7 weeks.
Much more of a delay. But yeah, no, I think there were multiple opportunities for the Broncos to pick off Patrick Mahomes in the first game. You just wonder, now, if they capitalize against those, it could be a completely different game. And like I said, they have a little more rest. I don't know if that's a good thing with the Broncos coaching staff. That could end up being a negative, and they could suffer from paralysis from analysis. But I think it will be probably a 2-score loss. Ultimately.
Yeah, the other issue is Kareem Hunt had his coming out party for this season against the Broncos, and he's been good ever since. Yeah, he's been really good since then. The Broncos did a great job against David Johnson and the absolute zero offensive line in Arizona.
David Johnson, the greatest fantasy pick in the world.
So I can't sit here and say that the Broncos' run defense has been shored up since last time, because the Jets torched them, the Rams torched them, Kareem Hunt torched them, and now we get Kareem Hunt again. It'll be interesting to see what Andy Reid's game plan is, because I think he will call me crazy, he might out-coach Vance Joseph this one. Just this one.
Well, guess what, Brandon? You're crazy.
Okay, so not high on the Broncos. Let's try to get high on the NFL as we transition to NFL talking.
It's the most natural. Oh, here comes a transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're split screen, so we really only transitioned a quarter of the screen. Well, a lot of trades happened this week. When's the trade deadline's the 30th? October
yeah, it's 30th. October 30th.
The day after my birthday.
Oh. Okay, just throwing it out there.
I do
Just throwing it out there.
a gift, Will. And
Say no more.
better be cash.
Say no more. Literally, say no more about it. I'm tired of hearing it.
How much money do your parents have? And how generous are they to strangers?
Let's just say you're not going to get anything on your birthday from me. Except a nice thank you card and happy birthday from me, from my heart.
Thank you. Aren't the Nuggets playing your Kings tonight?
That was yesterday.
Did the Nuggets win?
Yeah, they definitely did.
I meant to tell you to suck it, Will.
Well, we're very bad, and we have been for about 12 years. So.
Forgot to take the sports jab at you.
Yeah, you got me, pal. My Kings haven't made the playoffs since 2005, but, that one regular season loss to the Nuggets got me.
Yeah, early week 3 loss.
Yeah. Let's get into these trades.
Yeah, let's start with Amari Cooper going to the Cowboys from the Raiders. And I want to tie this into the Broncos a little bit because everybody in the world has been laughing at John Gruden this season.
Including us.
After trading Khalil Mack, after signing a bunch of old guys, and now he gets rid of Amari Cooper and gets a first-round draft pick for him. So that's probably a big win for John Gruden. I don't know why on earth the Cowboys would give up a first-round draft pick for a guy in his 4th year of his rookie deal. So even if he turns out to be good, he's going to have – he has to finish as one of the best receivers in the league for the Cowboys to justify, one, paying him what he's going to make in 2019 and or sign him to a long-term deal. Because if you give away a first-round draft pick for a guy who plays for you for a year and a half, that's a bad fucking deal. Unless you win the Super Bowl, which the Cowboys are not going to do.
That's a take right there. But, no, when I saw this trade, I just saw the Amari Cooper to the Cowboys part, and I was like, that's kind of a dumb trade for the Raiders. I don't know about the Cowboys. I'm like, what was it, like a 3rd or a 4th round pick? And then sure enough, I check, and it was a first rounder. And my thought process was, you know what? Good for the Raiders for finding the only GM in the NFL that was actually willing to match their asking price of a first-round pick. So you know what? I've been critical of John Gruden. I think we all have. But this was a win for him. Amari Cooper just wasn't producing. He hasn't really produced since 2016.
Yeah, it wasn't just this year.
Got a first-round pick back for him. Yeah, no, this is a win for the Raiders. And now they have 3 first-round picks, which who knows how the Bears are going to finish out. We know the Raiders' own pick is going to be pretty high, probably top 3.
At least.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing everything in their power to make it the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys, we don't know.
I think the Raiders could end up with a pick in each of the first 10. So 1 in the first 10, each of the 10s. 1 between 1 and 10, 1 between 11 and 20, and 1 between 20 and 32.
And you have to think that they're going to be going after a quarterback too.
Oh, yeah, that might be the first pick they take.
It could be. Yeah, no, it could be Justin Herbert from Oregon, which I'll just say this. I saw Justin Herbert play live against Cal a few weeks ago, and I would be sorely disappointed if he went to the Raiders. That would make me very sad. Yeah,
wasn't Elway out watching Herbert play as well at some point?
That was that was against Washington a couple weeks later.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Raiders, it's reported that the team's obviously questioning John Gruden's decisions because if you're an NFL player and it's becoming clear that your head coach, your highest paid ever, is basically tanking your fucking season when going into it you thought you had a chance. How do you respond to that as a player?
Oh, it's got to be infuriating.
Not giving a fuck. Like, it's week 7. We're heading into week 8, and your season's fucking done. I mean, your record's it's already done, but knowing like your coach has already given up on you, and that a lot of you are probably not going to be around much longer, that is just a weird position to be in. And it's honestly one of those things that does not happen in the NFL a lot.
No, this is something that happens like baseball or basketball. Like you see like teams have – this is like what's happening to the Raiders right now. It's like it's kind of similar to what happened to the Miami Marlins when Derek Jeter took over and he traded Giancarlo Stanton to the Yankees and Christian Yelich to the Brewers and all those guys. It's just like a fire sale, and you don't see it happen very often. And if I was on the Raiders, all I could think about is like I wish I – am one of those guys that gets traded because like I want a chance to win now. And I mean, the Cowboys aren't a contender in my mind, but they have a better shot at winning than the Raiders. So this has got to be a win for Amari Cooper. And he's in a better chance to succeed now with the Cowboys than he was with the Raiders because, you know, obviously the Cowboys have a pretty poor receiving situation. Their leading receiver before this was Cole Beasley with like 350 yards and 2 touchdowns. But he's got to be happy that it happened. And I guess it's a win for all parties involved, except the Cowboys.
Except for probably the Cowboys.
Yeah, except for 1 out of 3. So.
Well, and here's the other thing. Like, just because you have a bunch of high draft picks doesn't mean you're going to hit on them. You know what I mean?
The chances get better. They definitely do. But I would rather have Khalil Mack than 2 first-round picks.
Yeah. If Gruden would have kept Khalil Mack and then traded Amari Cooper right now, and you say, oh, shit, now the Raiders have 2 first-round draft picks.
Yeah.
They've got their edge rusher. I mean, you don't even know if Derek Carr's their quarterback anymore. But you'd be saying, like, they're not in a horrible position to get better quickly next year.
Right.
And if Gruden does hit on every single one of his first 3 draft picks, which the other thing to bring up is Gruden does not have a great draft history.
No, and his first-round pick, his first-round pick in his new tenure with the Raiders, Colton Miller, hasn't been going great either. He hasn't been playing particularly well at left tackle. Yeah,
they could have had Derwin James there, a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But would you take – if – Elway traded Case Keenum for Derek Carr, just because assuming the Raiders would do it, would you take that trade?
Yeah, probably.
I would too.
I would kick the tires on Carr just because he's got like so much talent, and he's done it before. Like he was basically like I think he was like a top 2 or 3 MVP candidate in 2016 before he broke his leg. And he just hasn't really been the same since, which like the big concern would be like his back injury, the leg injury. Like he hasn't been very good under pressure since then. That's the thing. It's like a mental thing, but I would be willing to see if like a change of scenery helps that.
But especially because he played his best football with Bill Musgrave, the Broncos' offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that's something to consider.
And I forget who it was on the radio today, said that because Carr has a high completion percentage in most of his games this year.
I think that's like just leftover completion percentage from playing the Broncos in week 2.
Every game. I mean, but like if you've watched Derek Carr, you would not say that he's lighting it up. And the person on the radio today said Derek Carr's been lighting it up this season. And he was just referencing like he's been over 70% with this, like against
means nothing.
The Seahawks in London. I think he had like a 73 completion percentage, but threw for 156 yards and I think 0 touchdowns and 0 picks. Like that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
if thrown a bunch of short passes that did nothing.
If completion percentage was the most important stat, Sam Bradford would be in the Hall of Fame right now. Like. No, the most important stat for me is yards per attempt, and I have a feeling I have a hunch that Derek Carr is probably not very high in that category right now.
My most important quarterback stat are touchdown passes.
Mine is how many homes they have not broken into.
Nice. I set you up for that one.
Just bringing it full circle. The assist for Brandon Perna.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay. There, yeah, some
So
other trades too.
yeah, Amari Cooper. Then Eli Apple traded to the Saints for a fourth and a seventh.
Yeah. I think it's one of the picks is next year. And
Oh
one of
yeah,
them
it's like a
is
2019 seventh or 2020 seventh round or some shit.
yeah. Feels weird that we're already talking about like 2020 picks.
So the Giants are also starting to give up.
They sure are. They sure are.
But there's been problems with Eli Apple in New York,
Yeah,
right?
no, it started last year really. Like he got suspended. His mom loves to loves to talk a lot. Annie Apple, which is a wild name.
That is a great Western name.
Yeah, I was just thinking the
He
same thing.
could take down Chad Kelly. Annie Apple defeats the bad guy, Chad Kelly.
Yeah. Calamity Jane and Andy Apple take down the outlaw Chad Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming up on the next season of Westworld.
Is Eli Apple good?
That's a tough question. I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that, but I think he's probably worth the fourth and the seventh.
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Saints are obviously trying to make their secondary a little bit better, which moves me on to the next guy, which is Patrick Peterson, who wants the fuck out of Arizona.
I don't blame him.
He's basically saying what Larry Fitzgerald should have said immediately following the Steelers beating them in the Super Bowl.
That's okay. So I was saying the same thing on Thursday night. I was thinking, like, I know Larry Fitzgerald would never ask for a trade or for a release, but if you were like the Cardinals front office and you know that this is probably his last year and you're whatever, like 1-6, like, wouldn't you like do him a favor and trade him to a team that is going to the playoffs? Just like, I feel like it would be like the right thing to do for a guy like Larry Fitzgerald, who's just like has been so close so often, just to give him like another shot at the playoffs at least. Even though he never asked for a trade himself.
Right. No, that team could be the Eagles because apparently they offered the Raiders a second rounder for Amari Cooper. So that's a team looking for something at wide receiver.
Yep.
And I couldn't think of a better guy to bring in than Larry Fitzgerald who would fit there. Especially with them struggling on offense.
Yeah.
A little bit. A veteran guy like him who's still good, I think would be decent. But the Saints, I feel like, and they probably did try to offer something for Patrick Peterson, but that's the guy they should have went all in on to bolster their secondary, not Eli Apple. And I'm not trying to factor in what kind of draft picks or money or any of these things teams have. I'm just saying if I were the Saints, Patrick Peterson would be the guy I would want. If he does get out of there, assuming Patrick Peterson's going to go to a team that's a contender, where do you think he should go? And it's not the Patriots who are supposedly interested in him. No. I swear to God, if they get him, I will. I don't know what I'll do, but it is going to be a sad day in my brain.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to keep an eye on you if that happens. I was thinking about like, what if Aqib Talib doesn't get right? And the Rams, I don't see the problem is I don't know if the Rams have the draft capital anymore because I think they've like burned their first round picks for the next decade.
Yeah, I don't think they
were to offer like, their first round pick from like 2030 to 2035. That would be interesting. I think the Packers would be an interesting choice.
Oh, that's a good – yeah.
Just because they are always in need of a good defender, and I feel like that's actually like a move that could put them over the top in the NFC North and actually give them a shot to compete in the playoffs rather than just like seeing if Aaron Rodgers can just score 45 points a game to win every week. So I think those are the two places that make sense for me.
Yeah. Also, Kansas City is reportedly interested in him, which
I didn't actually spit anything out.
Yeah, he didn't spit a Chardonnay out, which makes a lot of sense. Their secondary could definitely use his help. What is Eric Berry has a heel injury?
Yes,
and we don't know any more than it's a heel injury.
Right. Yeah. No. And we should also mention that before Earl Thomas broke his leg and flipped everybody off, the Chiefs are trying to trade for him too. So there's a precedent that they've been trying to get better in the secondary already this season. So it wouldn't
if they
shock me
could
to see that.
if Eric Berry can get healthy this season and actually play, and then they could get Patrick Peterson,
That would be scary.
I think they could beat the Patriots. Another team I thought would be interesting for Patrick Peterson right now is the Texans.
Interesting. Yeah, no, that would be – yeah, because they already have Tyrann Mathieu and bringing in Patrick Peterson. It's like, recreating the 2015 Cardinals magic, which couldn't hurt.
And also, I forget the names of their corners off the top of my head, but both of their corners are playing –
Jonathan Joseph.
Jonathan Joseph is the –
Kevin Johnson.
Okay. And they're both playing pretty good. And I think when you have a defensive front like they do, your corners are going to play better. But I think if you put Patrick Peterson back there, all of a sudden they kind of turn into the Jacksonville Jaguars of last year.
Yeah.
They have 3 really good corners, really good safety, a great defensive front. And since they're in first place in their division right now, that I think would make a lot of sense. But
it still shocks me that the Texans are first place in the AFC South. After starting off
started
like
0-3.
But that just goes to show how weak the AFC South has been. But yeah, they're definitely a team that would benefit from making a little push at the trade deadline for sure.
So we have really, I think we just nailed that. Let's do your finish off your hate list, and then we'll pick all the games.
Okay. So the hate list. We gave 10 through 6 last week. I'll recap it for everybody.
Smart.
At number 10, I had Odell Beckham Jr., not Odell Beckham Sr. I do not hate him, as far as I know yet.
Odell Beckham's father is just he's just a pleasant guy to be around.
Yeah, no, he never makes it about himself.
Mm-mm.
He never causes a fuss. He's very kind to kicking nets.
Love Odell Beckham Sr.
Number 9, I had Phillip Rivers. And again, I didn't have any of his children, any of his 37 children, just Phillip Rivers himself. Number 8, Richard Sherman. Number 7, Julian Edelman. Number 6, Large Ben Roethlisberger.
There you go.
Which leads me to number 5 on the hate list. Hate is a strong word, but I really, really don't like these players. Number 5, Tyree Kill.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Of Tyree Kill.
Reformed. He's paid his price. Will.
You know what? You're right. He served absolutely no jail time for beating his pregnant girlfriend. So, you know what? He's a changed man.
But they're engaged now. They're engaged, and he's being a good father, Will.
Oh, yeah, because anybody who understands anything about domestic violence knows that the woman not leaving the situation proves that everything is fine.
Andy.
No, yeah, everything is good. So I always love it when people make that argument. See, he wouldn't have made the top 5 if not for prosecuting the Patriots fan that threw a beer against him. And normally,
your role.
Normally, when people prosecute Patriots fans, that's a plus in my book.
That is like
as far as I'm concerned
to get 100% support.
Yeah, no, you're probably going to heaven if you prosecute a Patriots fan for any type of crime. But Tyree Kill, that's a case of pretty bad self-awareness on his part, in my opinion. So that's why I had to get him at 5.
Yeah, that's a glass house stone throw.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's a stone's throw away to a glass ceiling.
A stone's throw away from a glass ceiling where that grass is green.
Absolutely correct. That's how the saying goes.
Oh, Tyree Kill.
So let's move on to number 4. And number 4, it's actually kind of 2 players, but one of them's not playing right now. But it is Michael and Martellus Bennett.
Oh,
Michael Bennett still playing. This one's going to be controversial. Michael Bennett still plays for the Eagles. I'm not a huge fan of him. I think his children's books, although I'll admit I've never read them, they probably kind of suck. And
I think it's Martellus Bennett does the children's books.
Everything. I just lump them together on everything. They're like the original Jalen Ramsey. They did an interview like a long time ago where I think it was like Mina Kimes from ESPN just asked them rapid fire their opinion on all these NFL players, and they're just like trash, trash, trash. He's good. Trash, trash, trash. I hate when I don't know. I don't like when players like publicly. I know you love it. I don't like when players like publicly criticize other players, especially ones that they don't know or like have relationships with, because I think that's unfair, and that kind of like violates the NFL code or brotherhood or whatever. So I don't really like that. And then Michael Bennett had the thing where he was accused of pushing an elderly woman down at Super Bowl 51, which I don't know. That hasn't been proven or not proven to be true. I just want to point out that the allegations are out there. So I don't really have anything more to say about that. But I heard Michael Bennett. I feel like I hear him on a podcast like every single week. I'll just point out he's probably not coming on this podcast if he hears this. But
I'll get him on.
Please don't after this. Please don't.
I've read most of his book.
You didn't finish like a 25-page children's book?
No, Michael Bennett wrote a real book. Martellus Bennett does the kids' book.
Are there pictures in this real book?
No, there are lots of words, Will. And actually, I think you would find it interesting.
We'll see about that.
Maybe it would change your opinion on the man. And I think it's kind of funny, the guy who came up with a hate list criticizing players for talking smack.
It's hard to argue.
I can understand where you're coming from, but I actually like the Bennett brothers, and I really, really respect the pursuit of Martellus Bennett's creative endeavors.
Okay, I will never forgive Martellus Bennett for playing for the Patriots, winning the Super Bowl one year for the Patriots,
criticism.
Going to the Packers, starting the whole thing with the Packers training staff, allegedly going on IR or his season being over or whatever, not playing due to injury, then like forcing a release and then signing with the Patriots again. That was some LeGarrette Blount shit, and I didn't appreciate that at all. And I know you're on my side there.
Yeah, anything that benefits the Patriots, I am 100% against.
Would you like to point out what you're doing there? I hope you're petting a cat, but I really can't be sure.
That's probably distracting.
I just don't know what you're doing.
I stuck a video tripod thing against my file cabinet, and it just impressed with how well it stuck to it.
I'm glad you clarified that was a tripod and not a cat. Else.
All right, number 2. Where's number 2?
Well, you jumped the gun a little bit because we're on number 3.
Well, you tricked me with 2 people.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3. People might be surprised that he's this low, especially when it's me, Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs quarterback. And let me just say that he has the potential to jump on this list next year when I reprise the hate list for 2019. But Patrick Mahomes, I fucking get it that he threw the ball with his left hand that one time. You don't need to bring it up on every episode of Sunday NFL Countdown and every episode of NFL Live and NFL Matchup and NFL Insiders and Game Day and Game Day Prime. I know that he threw the ball with his left hand. I was there. I saw it. So find a new slant, media.
Fair enough.
I'm tired of him. His voice sounds like if Ray Romano got stabbed in the throat with a soldering iron and tried to drink water while speaking. It's horrible. It's horribly offensive, and I can't listen to any of it. And he's also really fucking good, and it pisses me off.
Everybody loves Pat.
Wait, that's Seinfeld.
I'm not gonna stick up for Mahomes.
Good. I would hope not.
I know I know I'm gonna hate him. So I'll give you a pass there. Number 2.
It's just going to take time. Like we said, we're behind on most things by 7 weeks. In this case, it's you that's behind 7 weeks.
7 years behind.
I hope not. Number 2. This one is gonna be crazy. Fuck you, Tom Brady. Number 2 on the hate list.
I don't know how that's not number 1. Well, I don't know how that's not number 1.
It might be clickbait that I'm putting him at 2 and not 1.
I think I know who your number 1 is going to be now. But, yeah, give me your reasons why you would hate Tom Brady.
Yeah, who could hate this man? Do I have to say it? Like, it feels pretty – I hate him so much that I don't even remember why I hate him at this point.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
spot to be in.
It's in my DNA. It's in my DNA. I feel like growing up, my whole family, or the men in my family at least, hated Tom Brady. The women in my family were like, wow, oh, he's so handsome, which only caused me to hate him more. He dumped Bridget Moynihan, which who could dump Bridget Moynihan? That's a hateable offense on its own, even if he wasn't an NFL player. He's the luckiest quarterback of all time. His entire legacy is built on the tuck rule. He's a system quarterback. He doesn't throw the ball more than 5 yards down the field. He's benefited from one of the greatest wide receivers all time, Randy Moss, and one of the greatest tight ends of all time, Rob Gronkowski. All of his Super Bowl wins, you could argue, shouldn't have happened. Spygate for the Rams Super Bowl. For the Panthers Super Bowl, John Casey kicking it out of bounds. For the Eagles Super Bowl, Donovan McNabb throwing up and Andy Reid not knowing how to manage the clock. For the Seahawks Super Bowl, obviously not running the ball with Marshawn Lynch. And for the Falcons Super Bowl, roughly a million things that they could have done differently, all of which would have secured the win, up 28-3. So that's my reasoning for Tom Brady. Also, he's got a stupid face.
Ooh.
So
your last point might be your best one.
Tom Brady, the stupidest face I have ever seen. So you think you know who my number 1 is? Would you like to take a stab at it? I kind of hinted at it in the comment section last week, but
I didn't read that.
You want to take a go at it?
I feel like you're going to go Jalen Ramsey.
No. It's not Jalen Ramsey. He didn't make my list. I thought about it. Now that I think about it, like I probably would have given a week just because seeing like how he's handled the losses over the last 2 weeks, he probably would have made the cut.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you talk this shit and then you get the shit kicked out of you, you gotta have like a sense of humor or something.
Just be like, right? You gotta be stand up about it at least.
What makes the trash talk fun is that you think that there's some tongue in cheek about it.
Yeah.
But then when you can't, and I know, like in the NFL, losing sucks, but if you can't like poke a little fun at yourself or say something, that's when you go, come on, do something funny. And then they never do. Can't
take the heat. Get out of the kitchen. As they say, as the saying goes.
Before the glass ceiling breaks.
And the stone breaks the glass ceiling of the house.
Right.
Yep.
And you turn another leaf.
On the other side of the green grass.
Anyway,
my number 1 is Travis Kelce. I hate everything about him. I hate that he's like wannabe Gronk. I hate that he always kills the Broncos. I hate his stupid earrings. I hate his stupid fucking haircut. I hate his stupid face. I hate his stupid reality show. I hate his voice. I hate his celebrations. I really just hate everything about him. I hate that his name's Travis. I hate that his last name's Kelce. I hate that he's a worse version of his brother. I hate that what more can I say?
That's what's weird. Is
I really
his brother's very cool.
Yeah, I agree.
Very cool.
I agree. And there tends to be one cool brother and one not so cool brother. And
it's like
Travis
the cool
Kelce's the lame brother.
And then the brother who tries to be cool, right?
Yep. Yeah, no, he's like
I never had a brother because I know which fucking one I would have been.
Unfortunately, I know which side I'm on in my brother-to-brother relationship. Yeah, you've got Bryant Gumbel, who's uncool, and then you've got Greg Gumbel, who's cool. You've got Peyton Manning, who's cool, and Eli, who's uncool. Somewhat, or maybe Cooper's the cool one in that situation. I don't know. But Travis Kelce is definitely the uncool one. The greatest thing ever was like Von Miller flipping him over a few years ago.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
Remember that GIF that was going around for like a month about him like pantomiming doing the jacking it thing?
Oh, yeah. I used that GIF like in 20 episodes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no.
That's when I go, maybe I like Travis Kelce.
Yeah. But he didn't do that like ironically. Like that was just like he's just a douchebag. That's the only he is the perfect example of a douchebag. He is like when you open the dictionary and you find out that somehow Webster's dictionary has included the word douchebag in its newest edition, you will see his picture, even though I don't think they do pictures, but you'd see his picture, you'd see his stupid face, his stupid fade haircut, and his stupid earrings.
And that concludes your hate list?
That concludes it, yep.
For now, for this season.
Yeah, check back in 2019. It's revised every year.
People will be clamoring for that, I'm assuming.
I would hope so.
All right, well, let's pick these games and get the fuck
hell out of here. So
we'll start with Thursday Night Football, which will be happening tonight, even though today is yesterday.
You're confusing me. First of all, I'd like to point out on our records, we both went 10-4 last week.
Damn it!
Yeah.
You know who screwed me? Or the one that I was mad about? Was the
Which
Panthers. One? Was the Panthers scoring 21 answered points against the Eagles. The Eagles had that game.
That one got you.
And I was like, man, I can't wait to tell Will how right I was about this Eagles. And then it just went to hell.
The ones that you missed, here's the thing. The ones that you missed were the closest games.
I know.
You missed Cleveland, who arguably should have at least tied. Philadelphia, who was up 17 points. Chicago, who was a yard away from going to overtime after that.
No, they were. I knew I wasn't going to win that one, though.
And then Dallas, who missed the field goal at the end with Brett Maher.
Oh, God. I picked the Cowboys to win?
Say what you will, but I also picked the Browns. And I picked the Titans, so maybe my point doesn't make as much sense. But I picked the Jaguars, who lost by $1 billion, and the 49ers, who also lost by $1 billion. So at least when I pick, I get it entirely wrong.
Also, just for the Broncos-Chiefs game, the Broncos and Chiefs both defeated their last opponent 45-10. Just throwing that out there.
Makes you think.
What does that mean? Could mean a lot of things. We're not going to figure it out today.
For a 45-45 tie is what that means.
It could happen.
Okay. Hey, Thursday night game. Dolphins at Texans.
This one I feel like is easy.
Brock Osweiler versus his former team.
Yeah, I feel like this is an easy Texans win.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dolphins.
No, we already discussed Brocktober last 1 week.
No, you're right. Yeah, the hunt for
also I don't trust
absolutely
Brock.
Over.
I don't trust Brock in a vengeance game.
No, absolutely not.
I think he's naturally just too nice of a guy. Like he doesn't have that fucking evil spirit inside of him where he just wants to destroy the team that begot him or whatever the Bible calls it.
I was like, you know what? They gave me a chance. They paid me a lot of money.
A lot of money.
They're very kind to me. Houston's
How could you be mad at somebody who's giving you over $20 million?
Try $50 million for Brock.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Considering I think the Browns ended up giving him a lot of that money too. Anyway, that's a long way of saying that I'm picking the Texans to win this game. So we're both on Houston there.
All right.
Eagles at Jaguars. This is a London game.
Oh, so the London town.
6:30 a.m. for me, 7:30 a.m. for you.
Isn't Bortles undefeated in London?
Yeah, he's 3-0 in his last 3 games at Wembley. Blew out the Ravens last year.
Yeah. So. I'm going to go with the Eagles. Still think they're just waiting to find their rhythm. I don't fucking know. I think the Jags are spinning out of control. They feel to me like they look like the Broncos after they won the Super Bowl and things unravel.
To go downhill.
Except the Jags obviously didn't win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. As much as I want to kind of change it up, I'm going to go with the
I would
Eagles
love to
as
get back
well.
on that Jag train. I would love
I would love to be jagging off sooner or later.
But
I don't see it happening this week against the Eagles. Should we discuss like that thing that Malcolm Jenkins said about Colin Kaepernick and Blake Bortles?
Oh, yeah. That was funny. We're going to put that in the picks episode. But,
Okay, yeah. We'll tune into the picks episode for that. It's a little teaser for you. It's what we call a teaser in the biz, which we are definitely in. Ravens at Panthers.
Oh,
Ravens coming off of a loss. Panthers coming off of a comeback win.
That's a good game.
Yep.
The Ravens barely lose to the Saints last week. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Okay.
I think they're a better team.
I'm going to take –
I'm sorry. I got to respect the Panthers, though. I haven't given them respect.
Panthers.
They're coming together.
Yep. Carolina, you have received one respect from Brandon Perna.
North Carolina, take your shirt off.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Please don't.
Don't be spending that
One
respect.
shoot buck.
Jets at Bears.
Ooh.
Taking the Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears too. But I feel like the Bears are going to make this game closer than it should be.
Yeah, I agree. Khalil Mack, nobody's really been talking about it, but he's
ankle injury?
Yeah, ankle injury, 3 tackles, and precisely 0 sacks in the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, I think the ankle injury is the big reason why. And
I like to think he's just because he's not as good as Von Miller, but
that's fine.
That's
but if we say that, then we can't keep
both things can be
Gruden.
True.
We can't rip Gruden if we start to say Khalil Mack.
No, because there's no consistency in my takes.
Okay,
and people should know that ahead
of time.
As
long as we're upfront about it.
Yeah. Who do people think I am stringing these things together? There's absolutely no consistency. We're both taking the Bears. Buccaneers at Bengals, possibly the worst uniform matchup of all time.
Bengals shit the bed against the Chiefs. Buccaneers barely get a win against the Browns. I'm going Bengals at home, and that's the only reason I'm picking them.
Yeah, same here. I didn't really like what I saw for the Bucs last week.
I think what happened with Tampa Bay, their defensive coordinator got fired, and sometimes when that happens, whether it's offense or defense, that unit
get a little boost.
Yeah, they play really well for 1 week, and then they return to sucking. So I think that'll happen.
Yep. Seahawks at Lions.
Oh, shit. I started to look at this game. Sneaky good pass defenses here. Right now, Lions, 4th best pass defense in the league, and Seahawks first. It's surprising.
Yeah, surprising. Especially with Earl Thomas out for the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions. I think if they keep their running game going, they might be legit.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson, 200-yard games for the 2 or 3 for the Lions this year. It's kind of been the best running back there since
who's that dude for the Dodgers that looks like Tormund?
Who?
Tormund from Game of Thrones.
The hell is that?
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
No, not really. All I know is that.
Oh, my God. You're doing a TV podcast and you haven't watched Game of Thrones?
I watch the shows that matter.
Oh, fuck you.
Well, okay, someone else on the show watches Game of Thrones, so we're covered.
Okay.
All I know is Chris Taylor for the Dodgers, who plays left field and center field, looks like Joe Flacco.
Oh, interesting.
So you'll notice that when you see Chris Taylor make a play in the outfield.
Handsome devil.
Yeah.
Okay, games. Who you taking, the Lions?
No, I'm taking the Seahawks.
Okay. Redskins, Giants. Give me the Skins.
The Redskins. Yeah. No explanation needed. Do you think they're ever going to bench Eli?
No.
Yeah, probably not. I think there's just like some type of unwritten.
You never bench a Manning unless it's against the Chiefs.
Yeah, then you win the Super Bowl. Yeah, no, they need to like.
Oh, that would be the greatest thing if they benched Eli and then they won the Super Bowl.
That's going to be tough. I think that the Broncos were like 7-2 when they did that, so
Yeah.
going to be harder to win the Super Bowl.
Exactly why it would be awesome, Will.
Starting off 1-6, but that's just me.
I'll take the Skins, and we got what, Browns, Steelers?
The Browns, Steelers. The first matchup was a tie.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers.
I'm going to take the Steelers too. We're matching up. It's making me uncomfortable how much we're overlapping here, but
We're both going to get them all right this week. Colts, Raiders. Give me the Colts. Easy.
yeah, I guess I have to take the Colts too. This one's tough.
This next one's hard. 49ers, Cardinals.
Not hard for me. I'm taking the 49ers.
You're on that beat hard train, huh?
Well, he beats it hard.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Niners too.
Yeah. I don't think you can. The Cardinals just look like a train wreck. The Giants, and the Raiders are all just battling it out for the first pick.
Yeah.
Packers at Rams. One of the 3 best games of the week, I think.
Give me the Packers to give the Rams their first loss.
I like it. So you're saying Aaron Rodgers will be beating Goff?
If anybody should beat Goff, it's fucking Aaron Rodgers coming off the bye week.
See, I didn't think about that.
He's saving such just a load of victory to beat Goff.
He's ready. He's getting restless. He's getting antsy. He can't wait to beat Goff. He just can't wait until he's got like 10 or 15 minutes by himself so he can beat Goff. All that said, I'm taking the Rams.
Probably the smart pick.
Yeah, they're 7-0. How do you pick against them?
Ooh.
All right.
Good Sunday night game.
Saints and Vikings, a very good Sunday night game.
Saints, Vikes, both teams hot.
Hot as hell.
Okay, so the Saints struggle against the Ravens. Ravens have a good defense. Vikings have a good defense. They get Everson Griffin back. Shit. I'm gonna pick the Vikings to win again.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking as well. If this was in New Orleans, I would say
I would pick the Saints.
I would take the Saints, but it's not. So I'm not.
I hope the Saints win because I kind of want them to be in the NFC Championship game. And if they win, then it will make me think they could win.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are starting to figure themselves out a little bit, and it really does help that Everson Griffin's coming back.
Yeah, and Latavius Murray's they're giving him the ball, and he's with the ball.
We don't really know if like Dalvin Cook's ever going to be healthy, but if he is at some point, I feel like this team has a very high glass ceiling. We're not going to do that again. From a great Sunday night game to a horrible Monday night game, Patriots at Bills.
Give me the Patriots.
Yeah.
This should be this is going to be like a 45-10. It's going to be a 45-10, just like the Chiefs over the Bengals.
Yeah. Okay. Here's my problem with this game. Last week with Giants Falcons, ESPN didn't know any better. They would have assumed that that was going to be a good game before the season, before everything went to shit for both teams. This game, you can't see this on the schedule and be like, yeah, this should be a Monday night game. How could you ever assume that the Bills are going to be competitive with the Patriots this late in the season? Yeah. And now they've got Derek Anderson playing quarterback for them.
Well, the problem is you can't put the Patriots up against any of their divisional opponents in primetime and assume it's going to be a good game.
No.
That's also another reason to knock Tom Brady. Never had any competition in his own.
The Patriots, you're exactly right. The Patriots should only play in primetime against the Chiefs, in my opinion. Otherwise, or the Broncos.
True.
In certain years. Only in years when we're good.
Only in years where we have Peyton Manning.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just waiting for him
or Brock Osweiler.
You joke about it, but now with Chad Kelly being released, that was one of the best games ever. Now with Chad Kelly being released, you just never know. So
never know.
be careful. But yeah, I'm taking the Patriots, and I
All
feel
right.
pretty good about it.
So we picked one different game, basically? One or two?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 games.
It's not bad. Not the bad.
Great, but like the later we get into the season, like the easier it gets to pick games, in my opinion.
Yeah, because you know who teams are by that time.
Yeah, you know what you're doing. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've made it through. We've made it through a podcast.
That's all we got. Who
Long
would have
one,
thought that we
though.
made it here?
All right. Thanks for listening. Follow Will on Twitter at Wilkie6 for the 3 people who already follow him and have made it for the whole podcast. Bye.
Yeah. See you guys.